When the lights come on, she's ready to rise. Donnelly steps up with faith in her eyes. Puzzle pieces fitting, stars up in the sky. With every prayer and song, she'll make your spirit fly.
She's got the voice that can heal the soul. Singing, gaming, she's on a roll. Star Wars battles to her prayerful light. Donnelly's shining through the night. Shine on, Donnelly's, you light up the way. Singing, praying, bringing hope today.
From puzzles to the force, you're always on. Donnelly's,
You're our shining song. In the game or the prayer, she's standing tall. With every step, she answers the call. Blessings in her heart, light in her soul. With Donnelly's, we're ready to roll.
raise your hands, feel the groove. With her faith and her love, you can't lose.
From the galaxy far to the prayers so deep, Donnelly's is the joy we keep.
Shine on, Donnelly's, you're the light we need.
With every song and every prayer you lead.
From puzzles to the force, you're always on. Donnelly's, you're our shining song. Shine on, Donnelly's. Shine on.
Hello, hello, everybody. How's it going? Happy Saturday. I managed to get everything moved over to the other side because I had moved my desktop over to the other side of my desk to make it where my our Wi-Fi was able to reach it better because we got fiber internet and it wasn't. Wait, Friday. Why did I say Saturday? Happy Friday, everybody. My brain is still waking up. Thank you, Crossbearer, for correcting me. You are right, it is Friday. My brain, my caffeinated brain, is still waiting for the caffeine to fully hit. So it is Friday. Oh, man. Ooh, still waking up, but the parental unit went out to get coffee for you and breakfast for the both of us. So help, i.e. caffeine is on the way. Yes! Is it a certain Brothers coffee? Because I know that's fairly close to you, and I know either that or Duncan tends to be your favorite. As well as you can be, minus Starlina's foot versus sharp thingy. How's your foot doing, Starlina? If it was Saturday, you were going to be in big trouble. So was I. Because that would have meant that I would have missed nursery duty that I'm supposed to be doing tonight, as in Friday night. We have a marriage conference that we're doing at my church this weekend, and so I offered to help in the nursery. So far, so good. You've got a scar, but it's all good. You would have missed your wedding year. Today's the big day? Oh my goodness. Congratulations. Missed the memo. Oh, that is true. Brothers doesn't have breakfast food as far as we know. You know what? I'm gonna look that up. Because they could, but I highly doubt it. I highly, highly doubt it with their, you know. They do have snacks, but not necessarily breakfast. That must be fairly new, though. They apparently have a chocolate chip muffin top, a lemon poppy seed muffin top, an orange cranberry muffin top, and a granola bar available. Which makes sense given, you know, they're more fast food. Like, they're more fast food with coffee than, well, not... The fact that I call it fast food has nothing to do with the quality. Their main focus is coffee. There we go. Their main focus is coffee. So their coffee is absolutely amazing, but it also means because their main focus is their coffee and making it as best as it can be, they don't necessarily have a whole lot of food options. There we go. Oh, I thought I had turned the music back on. There we go. You're so welcome! You're so welcome, Crossbearer. We're gonna pray over your wedding when it comes to prayer time, because that is an amazing thing. I don't know how I missed that memo, or maybe I've just had such a busy few weeks that I just completely forgot that today was the day. And if that is the case, I completely apologize for forgetting and being a terrible friend and forgetting. But yeah, it's been a good week. My coworker was back from vacation, so that made it a lot easier to keep up with everything. Not that it was hard. It was more just getting readjusted, there we go, to being the only one for a bit. And now I can relax and be like, I just focus on these requests. And it was kind of fun, because I do the mail run at least once a week, and then she'll do the mail run the other day of the week that we do it. Oh, it's not on me at all? Okay, good. Good. Because I know I haven't been spending as much time in some of our mutual streamer friends' streams, and I haven't really been able to make it to, unfortunately, haven't been able to really make it to your streams as of late, and I apologize for that. I'm gonna do better about that. That is my goal for the rest of this year going into next year, is being able to be more present. And so, yeah, that's gonna be my goal. Let's see. What was I saying? Oh, catching you guys up on the week. So, when my coworker was gone, I was doing all the mail runs, or both mail runs. And so I made myself a little post-it note that I would stick next to my cubicle, like on my little nameplate outside my cubicle that says, "I'm on mail run, be back soon." And then sometimes I would forget to take it down when I got back from mail run, so I would be sitting in my cubicle with the sign saying, "I'm on mail run." And it's like, hey, is that a Donna clone sitting there or what? The first time I left it up, one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, I like your little post-it note," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, thank you." Let me grab that, because I'm no longer on mail run, as you can see. So that was funny. And so it's been fun getting to catch up with my coworker and, you know, hear all the different things that happened over her vacation and get to just kind of catch up and have some good conversation. And so today we're going to be focusing on redoing the end of Enomoto's route in Collar X Malice, and we unfortunately got the tragic ending, the tragic lovers ending, and that made me very, very sad. You guys get to get a free one of these. Let's see, where is it? Where did I put it? Ah. We got a lot of...
Emotional, damn it!
from that ending. And so today, we're gonna try and get the... We're gonna see if I saved everything in such a way that I can go back into Chapter 5 and see about potentially making sure that I answered the correct way to get the good ending, because it does not look like the game lets you keep going if you get the tragic bad ending. And so, yeah, we're gonna see if we can make that happen, because I think I know which deductive reasoning with Donna I messed up on, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. And then if we finish Enomoto's route, we're gonna go into Sasazuka's route. And so my plan going forward is I plan to start Enomoto's route this weekend. Then I really kind of want to finish Indiana Jones and that playthrough and get that going. Exactly, ending on the tragic ending is not the way to go anyway. That is true. That is true. And so I want to finish up Indiana Jones because I get the feeling we're maybe about halfway through with that one. So we're going to start Sasazuka's route and then finish up Indiana Jones on Friday mornings, and then Saturdays going forward are going to be either Simulator Saturday or Sweater Saturday. We're going to try and bring that in because Sol and I were talking yesterday and we both agree this is a great way to make sure that we get that nice variety, that nice balance of the story heavy and the kind of more chill vibes. And I also eventually want to get back into Jack Jean. And so once we finish Indiana Jones, I plan to go back into this game and we're going to try and finish all of the routes on Fridays here, and then we're going to go into Jack Jean. And we're going to see how long that takes, because I know there's a couple of games. I know there's a couple of games coming out next year that I desperately want to be able to play through. Galaxy, thank you for the lurk! You personally like getting to have the full experience of playing through all the different endings, whether you get the true good ending or not. I like it. That's kind of fun. That is kind of fun. And then, once we finish all of the different routes on Color X Malice, then we'll kind of get back into Jack Jean. And then, hopefully by that point, I do have a James Bond game I do know a James Bond game is coming out next year in March. And so I might take a break from the visual novel playthroughs to kind of play through that. I'm not 100% sure yet, because I'm really looking forward to the James Bond game. I'm also looking forward to the Star Trek Voyager game that's coming out, but we don't have a release date yet on that, so I don't know where that's going to fall into our playthrough list. And I also know Gate Zero has made some amazing strides in development. And so for those of you who aren't familiar, Gate Zero is a video game that's being released in the hopefully near future, where you get to play essentially like a time traveler who gets to go back into Bible times and talk to people from the Bible, live and in person. And so I'm excited to play through that, see how the developers did, see how true to the Bible it really is, you know? So I'm excited for that, and hopefully you guys are too. There's a lot of good stuff coming. And I'm really excited for this new kind of balance between the story heavy and the chill, you know? I think that'll be really, really good. And so, yeah, it's gonna be fun. If you guys have any prayer requests, please feel free to drop them below in chat. And then we'll be going in the next few minutes into prayer time. Bad endings may be painful, but the writing of them can be something to appreciate. That is for sure. That is for sure, because that is what led to the emotional damage of Enomoto's tragic ending, is the writing. The way that the author was like, you know, really knew their character and really was like, you know, invested. Like, they did such a good job of getting you invested in the characters. They knew their characters well enough that they could sucker punch you in the gut with those tragic endings. Visual novels just don't feel as complete to you unless you explore the different endings for each character, happy or sad. That's fair, that's fair. And it also explains why you so desperately want me to just live with my life choices and get the tragic endings whether I'm ready for them or not. Oh man, because we got some tragic stuff. I'm kind of worried because I don't know if I saved in chapter 5 or not. I really don't. Let me see. There we go. You like the puzzles of Indiana Jones? From what you've seen, it seems like your kind of game. Exactly! And this is on easy mode. Like, any game I play it on easy mode because I'm a gaming noob. I'm not the best of gamers. So I'm like, you know, anything that... Like, I remember playing, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and I had to lower the difficulty into like story mode versus even easy mode because of one of the battles and how timing heavy it was. Well, if you're starting fresh, then it will probably be okay if I didn't. Okay. Okay, because what I was thinking was I would just go back to... I was thinking I would just try and go back to whatever save I had in, like, my earliest save in chapter 5 and do it that way. But let's see. There we go. What do I have, anyway? I have chapter 2, chapter 1, and then chapter 6. Hey, how's it going, Dusty? Well, I guess, there's always going all the way back to chapter 2. And we'll see what happens there, and I can just kind of do a speed run. Okay, you guys, how's everything going with, all of the government stuff? Because I know there's a lot of us that are... I know there's a lot of us that are going to be affected by that, or have been. Yeah, I guess we can always go back to chapter 2 and see, because that's from... Oh good, I'm glad to hear that. Because that one is from 6/29/24. Yeah, I can always just go back to save data number 6. Or do we want to go to save data number 7, which was all the way back at chapter 1, and then we just kind of speed run everything? I think I'm gonna go with save data number 6 and go with that. YouTube sent an email to Disney asking them to bring back all channels. Well, that's good. I hope YouTube does that. I hope YouTube and Disney are able to work together. I'm sorry, I meant to say I hope Disney does that and gives them back all of the different channels that they need. So you guys, if you have any prayer requests, please feel free to drop them below in chat. We're going to go into our time of prayer. You can do that one of 2 different ways. One is just simply putting it in chat. Number 2 is using the please pray for me redeem for 1 channel point, and then that'll put it in both the chat box and here in the activity feed, so that way I'm guaranteed not to miss it. You used to hate setting games to anything easier than normal, but these days you've got enough on your plate at times you're content to sacrifice internal gratification of completing the game at a higher level to be able to progress through the story at a quicker pace. Yeah, for me it's more about, it's not necessarily about the yes, I completed this on hard. It's, did I get frustrated? You know? Like, for me, anything higher than easy to normal mode sometimes just gets to be a bit too much of a challenge. And so then I end up getting frustrated with having to do the same battle over and over and over. Or get stuck on the same puzzle for hours, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm not making any progress, and now I'm frustrated. And so then I lower the difficulty. So I figure if I can save myself that inner turmoil of I'm frustrated by just going at a bit easier of a level. Oh, for sure, Soul, for sure. Neither of you were convinced it was only fainting the other day, yeah. It could be... Were you ever able to buy those, what was it, sodium level tests that I got, that I showed you on Amazon? I don't know. I don't know if those would help or not, because it could be. Let me see if... Does low sodium lead to fainting? Let's see. It can. Okay. It can cause a drop in blood pressure, which may result in dizziness, lightheadedness, or fainting spells, especially when standing up. Okay. So it could have been that, but we'll definitely be praying for wisdom, for sure. Ah, okay. Okay. It might be a good idea to have those on hand and just kind of maybe like once a week, every other week, something like that. Kind of keep an eye on those levels and see if that could be what it is. But if he's taking those over-the-counter salt tablets, that could help. That could help, I don't know. I'm not a medical professional, so take all of my advice with a hypothetical grain of salt. Pun not intended. Alright, you guys, let's go ahead and pray. Feel free to drop any extra prayer requests in chat. I'll look up partway through prayer to make sure that I don't miss anything, and then we're gonna dive back into the game. Dear Lord, thank you so much for who you are and how much you love us. I ask that you soften hearts that need to be softened, open ears that need to be opened to your good news, your gospel, your peace. I ask that you be with each and every person here. Be with Dusty, be with Soul, be with Crossbearer, be with Starlina, be with anybody and Galaxy and anybody else who's lurking, Lord. I ask that you just bless them and bring them closer and closer to you each day. I ask that you be with Crossbearer and his fiancée at their wedding today, Lord. We are so excited that we get to celebrate this day with them, Lord. That you are in the midst of that relationship, Lord. That you are felt throughout that entire ceremony, and that everything about their story points to you, Lord. I ask that you use them as a married couple to just be a picture of how you love the church, Lord. I ask that you just bless their marriage, bless this union, Lord. Let everything go smoothly. Let it be the day of their dreams, Lord. I ask that you be with Soul. I know she's been asking prayers for her class, Lord, and I ask the same prayers for myself, Lord, that as we go through the rest of the semester, that we're able to grasp the concepts being taught, that we're able to pass our class with at least a B, Lord. I ask that you just help us retain that information, Lord. I ask that you be with STL, our favorite doctor, as his wife just lost her cousin, Lord. I know that they weren't close, Lord, but I thank you that he knew you. And I ask that you just be with his family and give them your peace and comfort, Lord. Both extended and immediate family, Lord. Let them all just be a source of peace to each other. Be their peace and their comfort, Lord. Let STL and his wife be able to point them to you, Lord. I ask that you be in his unspoken situation, Lord. That you just give him wisdom in how to deal with that. Be with my extended family's unspoken, Lord. I pray protection. I pray wisdom. I pray for soft hearts, Lord, and open eyes. I ask that you be with Soul's dad. I ask that you just help him to continue to be on the mend, Lord. Be with his health. Help them be able to figure out why he passed out the other day. I ask that these over-the-counter salt tablets help, that his sodium levels can be where they need to be, that these are not seizures, Lord. Let it just be something simple and easy to fix, Lord. Be with Dusty and anybody else who's being affected by this government shutdown, Lord. Let the government reopen. Give our Congress wisdom and soft hearts and open eyes, Lord. Let them see what's going on, Lord, outside the walls of the Capitol. Let them see how this is affecting the normal, everyday American citizen, Lord. Give them a willingness to work together, Lord. I ask that you just be in this whole thing, Lord, and be with this whole YouTube and Disney thing. Let that be resolved, and ESPN. Let all of these different channels be willing to work together so that we can all enjoy this entertainment that you've given us, Lord. I ask that you just be with each and every one of us. Anybody who needs to come to know you, Lord, I ask that you be with them and open their eyes and soften their hearts, Lord. I ask that anybody who's struggling physically, whether illness or injury, that you heal them. I think of Starlina and her foot, Lord. I think of STL and his headaches, and I think of just all the other people in this world who are struggling physically and just illness, injury, all of that, Lord. I ask that anybody who is struggling mentally, that you be with them, Lord. I pray over Kishu and her unspoken, Lord, within her family, I just ask that there be resolution there, one way or the other. Let there be peace. I ask that you just be with her immediate family, Lord, and just help keep them all close to you, Lord. Let them grow closer and closer to you each day. Be with Spark, be with Bayo, be with Lotu and Wolfler and Pastor Dustin, be with just all the other Crossbearer, STL, all the other amazing Christian streamers here on Twitch. Help us to be a light in a dark place, Lord. Help us to just spread your love and your wisdom everywhere we go, and your light. I ask that you be with us today and give us a great time of fellowship. I ask that you be with Dusty and his stress levels. I ask that you just relieve that stress, Lord. Be with Dreamer and his job, his on-the-job training. Let that continue to go well. Give us a great time of fellowship today. And in your name I pray. Amen. Oh, he's one of those rare individuals that takes in too much salt, or too much fluid during the day, diluting the good salt. Ah. Of course, of course. And if there's anything that I forgot, I am more than happy to pray again. We're gonna go ahead and pause the music. I'm sure you guys are able to hear music from the game in the background. We are gonna go all the way back to chapter 2. After I patiently waited for a little bit, Sataki managed to secure an empty interview room for us. Oh, look at that! Tim the Terrible Typist strikes again! To secure an empty interview room. You just got Wingstop, went there for lunch with your friend, and your mom walked in to pick us up and she said, "Are you crying? Because I had atomic wings." I love it. I would probably look like I was crying too. I am a spice wimp. I cannot handle too high of levels of spice, although Sol and our mutual friend got me to try tteokbokki at one point. It's an Asian, I want to say it's Japanese, maybe Korean, dish that's basically like a pasta in a very spicy sauce, and it varies in degrees of spiciness. And they got me to try it, and it was pretty good. It was one of those things where the spice level gives you a punch, and then it dies off. And so that, I think, really, really helped. After I patiently waited for a little bit... Oh, yeah, there's that. Have a seat. Yes, excuse me.
にしても人の縁ってのは不思議なもんだ。こうやってあいつの話をすることになるとはな。
Sounds good, Dusty.
榎本、あいつ面白いやつだろ。身なりからして突飛で派手でよ。
Oh, it's Y, not X. There we go. So we're just gonna go... We're gonna just do Y and let it go. Oh, it's Korean. Okay, cool. Spicy rice cakes. Yeah, that makes sense. And hopefully I pronounced it correctly. We're just gonna let it do its thing, because we've already gone through all this. You guys can watch the Color X Malice playlist on YouTube to be able to see all of this from back when I played this last Spooktober. But right now, we're just going to go through all the deductive reasoning with Donna, and hopefully it'll pause for all the deductive reasoning with Donna stuff. But in the meantime, we're just going to kind of do a speed run of chapters 2 through 6, so that way we're not doing a full, you know, a full-on thing. Okay. So that one... Okay. That one says it was a chase after him. So I just answered my own question. So I promise you guys that we're not going to be spending all 3 hours rehashing what we did last year. It's going to be hopefully not too terribly long, especially with doing all of the this at a speed run. I just really want the good, true ending. Oh, that's right! Ishiki! Yes, there's Ishiki. We got introduced to him. So what does everybody have planned for this weekend? I'm mostly going to be, today it's going to be trying to get laundry done, and then try and make sure I, you know, do that. This week is also going to be a wash my bedding week, because I do that roughly, I try to do that at least every other week, if not every week. And then tonight, I've got a phone call that I'm going to be making with a person from a digital church here on Twitch. So that's going to be fun. I've joined the worship team at this digital church, so I am excited for that. We're getting the ball rolling to get me, like, officially there. So that's going to be really, really good. I just have to go kind of through the whole onboarding process, and then I'll officially be part of the team. And then I have helping out in the nursery tonight for the marriage conference. So that'll be good. Tomorrow is going to be stream and then D&D, and it's going to be really, really fun. The ones you got get from Trader Joe's are on the sweeter side, but you think I've done okay with the spicier ones at the local Korean place. I don't think I may have tried one. But yes, my spice tolerance is very, 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 very limited. So it's gonna be interesting. Going to a friend's wedding this evening. Oh, is that the friend from our mutual friend's wedding? If I remember correctly? You have to miss class to do it, but it'll be worth it. Yes! Blessed to have a somewhat lighter homework load than usual. For sure! What kind of homework do they have you doing this week? I might try, depending on schedule, I might try and do a bonus stream on Tuesday, depending on what I have going on. So keep an eye out for that, because I'm off work on Tuesday for Veterans Day. So I might try and squeeze in a bonus stream and we'll see what we can do. See what we can make happen. Okay, so... go through there. Do that. Starlina versus Cardboard round 2. Oh no! What happened? The initial schedule had that brutal exam due today, but it ended up being last week instead. Oh, well that works out nice. Maybe he just decided to switch things up a bit. That could have been it. Oh no! I cannot tell you, Starlina, how many times I've gotten paper cuts from the simplest of tasks. I've gotten so many. Like, I'm pretty sure I've got one right now. Right here on my pinky. I don't even know how I got it. It just happened. I have no idea how. So I totally feel ya. But yes, a friend of our dear missionary friend is getting married today. The friend who went to AX with you last year. Oh. That's right. I thought so. And she is such a nice person from the few times I've interacted with her. She seems like a real sweetheart. It's not the cardboard attack you're annoyed about, but where it was. Ah, yeah. Lots of germs. Hopefully you're able to get that all cleaned up real quick. There we go. There we go. Soul is amazing. And found me a list of things that, a list of all the correct answers so we can get the true ending. So I can see where I went wrong in my deductive reasoning with Donna. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere in chapter 5. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere in chapter 5. It could be. Because that's where I remember... Because I remember, that was about where the, it was right about where the, mistake, where I didn't see the affection up thing come up, so... You mistyped yesterday because coincidentally you also got a paper cut the other day. Or a cardboard cut. Not sure what attacked me, but something did. I feel that. Sometimes I'm like, wait, when did I even get that? I feel like paper cuts are very similar to bruises in that way. You just randomly end up with them and you don't remember how you got them. You know? Yeah, this was, I'll eat it for him. That seemed to be the correct answer. There we go. Let all of this just play by. So that we don't have to rehash all the old info. Because we'll be going back through all the initial stuff as is. If I remember correctly, once we get through Enomoto's route. And get the true ending. Because then we go back to the common route, which is Hoshino, the main character. And then we kind of get to go from there and branch into a different area. Hey, Marnius! How you doing? It's been a while. Went to the dermatologist, she cut some stuff off you and you're still healing from it. The random paper cut is just another stinging nuisance to contend with. Aww. It happens. It happens, Starlina. I'm sorry it's happening to you right now. I've had my fair share of all different kinds of different things. Doing all right now? Well, good. That's probably where I went wrong. It was chapter 4. Because I guessed that one wrong in my deductive reasoning with Donna. That makes sense. Well, I'm glad you're doing all right, Marnius. What have you been up to lately? Messed up in the nuclear plant. He worked as a scaffolder and they kicked out? Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry that happened. That's rough. So now management found you another place, so I'll work hunky-dory? I like it! Good. I'm glad to hear that. What's your new job? But Billfinger blacklisted you. Make sure that doesn't happen. Or sure, make sure that doesn't happen again, right? Still a scaffolder, but you'll be working in Belgium. Oh, there you go. There you go. Because I need to make a new... I'm slowing this down because of the fact that we're going to be going into trigger mode soon.
了解。
That way I don't have to... Yep. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do right here. Yeah. We'll save here just to be safe. We'll go with save data 9.
Hello, sweetie.
Hey, thank you for the follow.
Enomoto-sanも
こういう
わかった君意識
Here we go. You know, I've noticed that lately there has been more and more examples of Twitch just making it where you've unfollowed for whatever reason.
あんなやつの命一つでヒロ君の悲しみが癒せるなんて思ってないけどね。
And we'll override save data number 9 because this is a little bit closer. There we go.
あの高速もう
Right? Once was definitely enough. Definitely enough. That one, talk about emotional damage. I was not prepared for that. I was not prepared for the emotional damage that came from that. If I fail, I am totally just loading save data 9 and we're trying again.
あいつ俺が悪いとんで星野最近わかった花星野俺だ人質の
Here we go.
Emotional
最近
damage.
お前が
Exactly, Starlina. All the emotional damage.
ヒロ君
俺生きその
ヒロもうね
逆ど俺は君
Here we go.
ちゃん意識今だ
Here we go. I think that was it. Yes! First try! Yes! First try! Look at that! Yeah, I can definitely understand your comedic hatred against cardboard. Alright, now we're fast forwarding some more so that we can get the true ending because we've already played through a good majority of this before. So now we're just going back through answering the two that, like one or two that I didn't get right in order to get the true ending. Right? Clap, 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 hype! That makes me so happy that I got it first try. Because the last time I played trigger mode, it took me a good 2 or 3 tries to get the timing right. And it was devastating the first time. Absolutely devastating. Going through all of the things. All of the things. Yeah, I'm still 99.9% certain I got something wrong in Chapter 5. But we'll see. We'll see. The first time you unintentionally failed trigger mode was in Sasazuka's route, so you didn't get much farther than me. Oh. I would ask what happened when you failed trigger mode, but I feel like that would be huge spoilers, so no pressure to answer. If it would be spoilers, you can just simply say spoilers, and I'll read it in River Song's voice. I'm sure that it was absolutely devastating because failing trigger mode tends to result in dangerous and devastating consequences.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal!
Right? Oh, as far as getting the feel for how it works. Gotcha. Oh, are you... let's see. No. That would have been... because they train you in trigger mode in the beginning with common route, right? Oh, I believe it. I believe it. I like that quote. I like that quote a lot. Also, I feel like people don't give Firefly enough love, so
Take my land, take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, I'm still free.
you can take the sky from me. Alrighty, sounds good. Enjoy your time in the shop. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, they really don't. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, now we just kind of have to guess what they're looking for. Alright, and then putting on a... Oh, I was right. I did get one wrong. He seemed somewhat nervous. At this rate, it looks like we might be able to get some good info from him.
これには不可解な点が多いんだ。まず、面識もない女性を助けるために。
それのどこがおかしい？私が助けに入らなければ。
一刻を争う状況だったにしても、運が悪ければあんたに刺されていたんだぞ。
私が死んだところで。だから迷うことはなかった。
その話が真実なら、すげえと思う。あんたは絶対に自分が死なないと確信している。
That is a good question.
相手は薬物を摂取したことで平衡感覚を失ってた。多少なりとも腕に覚えがあれば返り討ちにすることはできたはずだ。
私に武術の心得はない。あれは運が良かっただけで。ああ、そうだ。あの時は無我夢中だった。もちろん殺すつもりなどなかったが。
Right? Hey, Shorty, how's it going? Love the spooky pumpkins. Anyway, yeah, no spoilers, but as you would expect things to go terribly, terribly wrong. Exactly. There we go. Ads start in less than a minute. It's going another Friday, you guess? Oh, I got 2 wrong. I got 2 wrong in chapter 5.
でもダメだ。お前が頼りにならないとか。
That explains a lot about how I got the tragic ending. So what do you have planned today, Shorty? Anything fun? Let's see, today's Friday, so it's your Awana night, right? There we go, I remembered! We had pizza night on Wednesday. It was pizza night / crazy hair night. And so that was really, really fun. One of your Awana nights? I didn't even realize I said that. Yeah, we have Awana multiple times a week. Didn't you know that? Yeah, we have ours on Wednesdays. Oh, you do. Oh, you do. Okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna go into BRB. We'll see you in a minute. Alright, welcome back. Welcome back. Since we weren't able to offer Sparks this year, you enrolled Thing 3 at another church. That makes sense. That's right. So that's on Sundays. Oh. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Some minor errands, but that'll be later today. There you go. That sounds like a fun, hopefully fun time. Getting those done quickly. Get you out of the house for a little bit. Not sure you can even blame autocorrect on that one. Still haven't received your coffee. Between your uncaffeinated brain, awkward position typing on the floor, and lack of contacts in your eyes, your fingers did not go where you need them to go. That makes sense. Hopefully your dad gets back with coffee later, or in a very, very quick fashion. You're a commander on Friday and a Sparks Verse listener on Sundays. I love it! The kids absolutely loved having pizza night on Wednesday. They had a blast with it, and it was so good. So good. And for our Bible lesson, we went through the words of the Sparky song and dove into what does that actually mean? What does it look like to live that out? And so that was really, really fun. It was just something I was there during opening ceremonies and giving announcements, and I was like, oh, this would be perfect. Yeah, chapter 5 is apparently where I went all kinds of wrong in getting these.
これは文化のサインか。落ち着け俺。こういう時は愛読書の32ページあたりを思い出して。
100 heart-jerking love confessions. On page 32, there's a section called Killer Lines that shoot straight for her heart. It's best to forget you've ever seen this. Aww. Exactly. Thing 3 was supposed to have crazy hair night this past Sunday, but she was sick. You were going to wear your mullet wig, but alas. Donna, I can handle this. Also, Donna, I cannot handle this. This game gets me going like all kinds of roller coasters of emotion.
別に嫌だったとかそういうわけじゃねえからな。その
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. That was the stream that you had missed.
なんだよ。そんな可愛
Because
く
I was
笑われ
doing
たら
so well with my deductive reasoning with
お
Donna.
前は俺をどうしたいんだ
And deductive reasoning, those were the ones that I kind of was like, I'm just gonna go with my gut and go with what, you know. Yeah, what are some of the differences that you've noticed?
ダメだ。これ以上は俺の理性が持たない。ダルビでも見よう。
And see, that's why I chose initially watching TV, because I'm like, he's gonna freak out, and then we're gonna, like, end up watching TV anyway, and she can just decide to move closer then, you know, that kind of thing. But, yes. This is where I completely went awry. Ah, a much bigger club for starters. That makes sense. Yeah, we have... It's one of those ones that's... I would say it's probably more medium. At the beginning, they combine the Sparks and TNT together for singing and announcements. Oh, very cool! What we do is we do the pledges together, and then Cubbies goes to their room, Sparks goes to the what we call the yellow room, and we do announcements in there, sing the Sparky song, and then they go to handbook time, and TNT stays at the game circle. Let's see. Ah, you've always had your clubs separated the whole time. Logistically, you've never figured out a way to combine them. Ah. Very interesting, because what we've always done is we've always had all three of our clubs there for prayer and pledges, and then they kind of just go to their separate areas. But I think that what also helped is we're a smaller church, and so all of our clubs kind of generally were in the same building, especially over the last handful of years. And so since we've all been in one building, it's like, okay, we'll start together and then separate. There we go. Get all of the dialogue. I love that interaction between the two of them. Pretty sure I got chapter 6 all correct because Soul was here to help me with my deductive reasoning. Because I remembered that I hadn't seen the affection up in a while. And so that could have been... to a certain extent, because I think what helps is you're here to kind of help, like, be a sounding board for my thought process, and that encourages me, and that it helps me know, because what's good is that you're good about not letting me know if I'm getting the right answer until after I've gotten the right answer, but you're a good sounding board for those thoughts, and I don't have that when you're not here. There's enough kids, they've split Sparks in half. There's red A, red B, yellow A, yellow B, etc. So the A teams do handbook time first, while B does game time, then they swap. Hey, I enjoy talking about Awana with you. It's always fun. Not a distraction at all. So we're gonna get the good ending now because we've gotten all the right answers. All the right answers. Do 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 do. But yes, you are super good at being a sounding board for the answers. And figuring out, you know, what is it that could be? Is my thought process at all on the right track? You're feeling pretty good about next year. Should be able to bring back Sparks and Cubbies. Plenty of work to do leading up to it, for sure. Cause you just need all the different leaders that you need for it, and then you're good, you know? I've always been a proponent of, if you build it, they will come. And so hopefully now you'll be able to rebuild. This was kind of a rebuilding year in a way. You'll get all the right all the right people, and all that good stuff. I was hiding in the shadows of the studio watching their exchange. Ogata was filled with anger, so I couldn't help but jump out. Don't use what happened 2 years ago as an excuse. Many people sympathize with your words because you used to be a victim. Some people even acted after taking your words to heart, but once they wield violence, they become the assailant. If you use power incorrectly, the victim will become the assailant. Because Adonis caused the X-Day incident, some people may have felt saved. But it took away the peace and ruined the everyday lives of people living in Shinjuku. And I myself have a collar around my neck that Adonis placed on me. I didn't ever want to see this thing again, but I thought of it when I heard Mineo's plan. Ogata and Adonis, we could use the collar to find out the connection between the two. Exactly. And what ends up happening sometimes is that by being that sounding board and letting my thought process be verbalized, and then your help with understanding what the context is and what they're trying to get out of you as the player, that could lead to me changing my mind, or it could solidify what the right answer is for me. So I asked Sasazuka to get me permission from Minagishi to borrow it temporarily. Look at this. I showed the collar, and Ogata becomes pale. No, I've never done anything that I'm ashamed to admit as a police officer. I was attacked, and when I woke up, I had this collar around my neck. I don't know what reason Adonis had for placing this collar on me. But if all criminals are supposed to die, then judge me, here and now. Ogata silently looked at me.
私に
Boom! Boom! Mic drop on Ogata! He quietly but clearly said that. I don't think you and Adonis are unrelated. So we used to let people join pretty much whenever. This year, I think what we're planning on doing is closing down any registration after the new year. Because I definitely see your point of closing it after about the first month so that kids wouldn't join and be really, really far behind. But I agree, I don't like the excluding of potential clubbers either. So it's like a balance, you know? But I also see the issue that we had with people trying to join with a month before the end of the club year, and we're like, oh yeah, join! And, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, where's that line? And so I think for our club, that line is going to be beginning of 2026, like January, when we come back. However, if you took advantage of Adonis solely for your own revenge,
だったら許せねえな。お前がどんな経緯でアドニスと関わったかを知らねえ。
Mineo steps forward and stares down Ogata.
誰かを助けたいって気持ちが根底にあるなら、お前は強いやつだ。自分の弱さに負けんな。
Exactly. There's really no perfect answer. But at least by saying halfway through the year, you're able to say, like, they can more easily catch up. Because one thing we've also done with Sparks is we used to let people kind of do however many verses they wanted or were ready for. But that was taking a lot of time away, because there would be people with a lot of verses ready, and not everybody was getting the same amount of time. And so what we've done is we've said, you're guaranteed, your Sparky is guaranteed 2 sections. If they have more, once everybody has had their chance to do their 2 sections, then at the leader's discretion, they'll be able to do their 3rd or 4th, you know? And so it all depends on how much time. But we also don't have the amount of leaders needed to give everybody that same amount of time for 5 verses, you know? And it's one of those things where our heart behind it is twofold. One, we want to make sure everybody gets a chance to say their verse. But B, we want them to truly know the verse in their heart. And if they're flying through the book doing like 5 verses a week, they're not going to really remember that verse when they need it. And they're not going to know what that verse truly means. And so by saying you're guaranteed 2, they have a better chance at actually remembering those verses.
でも世の中はそんなバカがいた方が面白いだろ。
面白いかはともかく、お前のようなやつに諭される自分は。
You do something similar? That's cool. I'm glad we're not alone in that, because there was at least one parent last year that kind of took issue with it. But this year that parent has come around. That is true. So what we do is we've said if you miss a week, you're guaranteed that chance to catch up, you know? Oh yeah, they're trying to catch up 2 books. Exactly. Yeah. Because, like, if you get somebody who joins your club in 1st grade, and they're trying to get through the Hang Glider book and the Wing Runner book by the end of the year, that's not good. And then you also have some parents who, they're like, I want my kid to be able to get through the book itself and the review and the frequent flyer by the end of the year because I know they're capable of it. And we're like, but does the kid want that? Is the kid motivated to do that? Is that, and is your kid remembering those verses? Or are they doing it just to please you? Because we don't want it to be where scripture memorization is something forced. We want it to be something that they want to do, that they desire to do, and they're doing it at a pace that they're comfortable with, you know? Ogata looks down and sighs before looking up.
私はアドニスの一員としてあのストーカー
You think Thing 3's club lets kids sign up anytime? Interesting. Yeah, we were like that up until we kind of realized, is it really fair to the kid to let them join with like a month left in the club? Is it really fair to that kid? And so we've just, we kind of decided this year we're gonna try and put a stop to that. Good morning, Sam.
偶然ではなく計画的な犯行だ
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
まさかこんな形で罪を認めることになるとは
Ogata seemed to laugh at himself as he stuck his hand in his pocket.
私はずっと私を止めてくれる誰かを待っていたのかもしれない
お前
Mineo dashed forward and I realized that Ogata had taken out a knife. Ogata extended his arm and turned the blade on himself.
バカな姉はやめろ
Mineo grabbed his arm at the last moment, but Ogata did not flinch.
私は私自身を裁かなければならない他の誰でもない自分の手で
ふざけんなこんなところでお前を死なせてたまるか
こんな風に誰かに引き止められるとは思っていなかった
Ogata shook off Mineo's arm and swung the knife at his own neck. And he's probably dead. Yup, and he's dead. I screamed when I saw the distinctive splatter of blood. Mineo!
大丈夫だいいじか誰も死んでねえや
Ogata's eyes widened because Mineo grabbed the blade without hesitating.
なぜだなぜそこまでする
何言ってんだお前だってさっき殺されそうになってんの見て止めただろ
Noticing that Ogata had loosened his grip, Mineo took the knife away.
いいじかあとは警察の仕事だ
All right. You are under arrest. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. Or you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. Tomoki Ogata, you are under arrest for the murder of Hiroto Shimizu in July of this year.
に捕まるくらいなら
死んだ方がマシだと思って。
Come on, Mirandize him, Ichika.
なぜだ
Yep, all that good stuff. Exactly. Come on, you've got to Mirandize him, Ichika. Unless that's not how they do things in Japan. Maybe they have a different thing in Japan.
ここからが大変かもしれねえけど。
I don't know what laws there are in place like that in Japan.
Enomoto.
Morioka! What are you doing here?
少し前に柳から連絡をもらってな。自供も確かに聞いた。あとはこっちが引き取る。連れて行け。
On Morioka's command, multiple officers surrounded Ogata and began to escort him to the police station.
俺はあいつを救えたのかな。
I'm sure your heart did reach him. He did everything he could, but he still might be regretting his own powerlessness. Mineo smiled half-heartedly as if he was in pain, so I turned to him and touched his hand. Mineo, let me see where you were cut.
いや、あんま見せられる状態じゃねえし、手当てなら自分で。
Show it to me.
お前、ひょっとして。
When I saw the blood splatter, I thought you'd been stabbed. Everything went dark in front of me. I took out a handkerchief from my pocket and applied pressure to stop the bleeding. Your Trek and Journey director just called, wants to know if we have a cornhole game at the church. I love it! I love it! Maybe he's got something planned, like for a lesson. That would be kind of cool. I know. No matter what it is, you give it your all. I know that's why you are the way you are, Mineo. And that's why I fell for him. But... Tears fell on top of the handkerchief I placed on his hand. I know, but... Please don't make me worry so much. I don't think my heart could take it if you keep doing this. You do believe they have something similar, at least, being made aware of their rights and such. Yeah, I would hope so. I would hope so. Mineo reached out to me and carefully wiped away my tears.
心配かけて悪かった。謝るから。泣き止んでくれ。お前に
Yeah, the rights themselves may be slightly different. They may not necessarily call them Miranda rights. You're like a different person.
うるせえな。こんなのお前にだけだ。お前だから弱い部分もかっこ悪い部分もさらけ出せるんだよ。
Me too.
夏が俺たちって相互相愛って感じだな。
Mineo, I think the term most normal people use is mutual love.
え？あ、当然知ってるし、わざとだよ、わざと。お前を笑わせようと思ってさ。
Yeah, I can definitely see that too, Starlina, but don't let it get you down. Don't let it keep you from helping out at the potluck. Potlucks are so much fun. I love potlucks. My go-to is the Little Smokies, and then I use the sweet and zesty sauce from Famous Dave's, and it is mwah, chef's kiss. Oh, good, good. I'm glad you're able to laugh about it.
お、笑ったな。やっぱお前は。
Alrighty, enjoy those errands. Hope they go quickly. And that they are productive. Have a good one, Shorty. Mineo, you always act bashful, but then you say things like that without hesitation.
なんだひょっとして今の言葉にときめいちゃったのか
Will do. You get carried away so easily, Mineo.
俺はいつもドキドキしてんだからちょっとくらいいいだろお返しね
Always?
おうこんなにドキドキする相手は世界でお前だけだ
There you go again.
とそうだフライングだけど渡しちまうか
Mineo sticks his hand in his pocket and takes out a bag with a tiny ribbon. Huh? What's that?
そりゃこの時期に渡すものって言ったらクリスマスプレゼントに決まってんだろ
Huh? You got one for me?
まあ付き合う初めてのクリスマスなわけだし
I'm sorry. I didn't get you anything. Oh, but if you have any requests, please tell me. As long as it's not too expensive, I can get it for you.
それって何でもいいのか
Of course. Let me guess. He's gonna say your heart. The key to your heart. Why is he staring at me? Is something the matter?
プレゼントは
Yes?
お前ダメだ難易度マックスすぎる
Hmm?
俺はお前が選んでくれたもんなら何でもいいからそれよりこれ
I received the present he handed me and then glanced at Mineo. Can I open it? I saw Mineo nod, so I opened the bag. This is... Inside was a hairpin fashioned with a clover design.
何にするか散々迷ったんだけどさ一目見た時これだって思ったんだ俺はお前に幸せになってほしい違うな願うだけじゃダメだ俺がお前のこと絶対幸せにする
Those words sounded like vows for the future. I felt that the clover in my hand started shining as if to bless us. And that's the true ending. At least I'm pretty sure it is. That is a beautiful ending. Oh. They are seriously so cute. I love them. They are adorable. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely sit here through the credits. I love how this is like a timeline of their relationship. It's so beautiful. Yes, the true ending! Welcome back from shopping! I hope you found everything you were looking for, Marnius! So, we finished one ending. We finished one route. So now we get to go back and do the common route again. And then we get to pick a different route. The game does reward you for suffering through the bad ends. Oh good. Oh good. Let's see, I need to find your text with how to get... There we go. To Sasazuka. You were right. Oh good, you found everything. I'm glad that it was a successful shopping trip. 3 months passed since Ogata's arrest. Since then, Sasazuka and Minagishi have disabled the poison on the collars. They followed the signals to take those people into custody and removed their collars. Not long after that, Adonis announced that they were canceling X Day. Though all perpetrators for the incidents were arrested, the heads of Adonis were still unaccounted for and currently remained at large. After the government saw that there was no further action, they declared that Adonis had given up on their plans and lifted the quarantine. And then... Enomoto is such a lovable dork. You had a feeling I might like him a lot? Yes, yes. He's seriously probably, like, it's a toss-up between him and Yanagi for my favorite right now. Had to choose the cheaper thing, couldn't afford the one you were aiming for, but still have it exactly. On my day off, I was at the field operations office with Mineo.
紆余曲折ありましたが、この度、機捜の一員として復帰することになりました。
おー、イエーイ！
また気合い入れて頑張りますんで、よろしくお願いします。
おう、また一からビシバシ鍛えてやっから、死ぬ気で覚悟しとけ。
って、佐竹さん力入れすぎ。歓迎するならもうちょっと優しくしてくれてもいいのに。
ああ、誰が誰を歓迎するって？
本当ですよ。ああ、彼女、俺も目つけてたってのに。
つか、見せびらかしに来るとかよ。ぶん殴られても文句言えねえよな。
先輩落ち着いてくださいよ。そりゃこいつは俺の彼女ですけど。
Everyone in field ops just got angrier. I can see it in their eyes.
みんな、この鬱憤は歓迎会で晴らそう。Enomotoにかける技、各自決めとけよ。
楽しみですね、先輩。
勘弁してくださいよ。
Come on, all this playful banter, it's so much fun.
変わってねえな。本当に懐かしい景色だ。
Mineo was surrounded by smiling members of field operations. Normally, it's not a simple thing for an officer who resigned to return to duty. Although it's irrelevant in certain circumstances like Sasazuka's, though. Though Mineo worked hard for it, he was able to return so quickly because of the major contributions he made in solving X Day. Not everything is healed, but none of his effort was wasted. We were able to laugh together now because of the obstacles we overcame together. While watching them smile, I finally felt like Mineo had found his place right back where he belonged. You can see that for me, and Yanagi's route is the one that I can't play through until the end, although I wouldn't be surprised if he stayed up there by the end. It's a good one. Yes! Yanagi deserves the best. So does Mineo. If I said anything there, it probably would have just added fuel to the fire. But at this rate, it seems like your return will be complete in April.
警察に戻るか散々迷ったけど、やっぱ俺の居場所はあそこだと思ったんだ。柳先輩やタケルにも逃げずに向き合うって宣言したしな。
I'll also work harder than ever before. I want to become an officer that the people in my area can depend on. Sayaki's counting on it. I received a letter that said he's rehabbing. He wrote that he'll be better in no time, so we don't need to worry about him. Good!
今度佐伯に会う時までに警察官として成長しとかねえとな。
Yes, or else he'll laugh at you. After After we left the station, Mineo said there was somewhere he wanted to go, so I followed. Is he gonna propose? This place is... We arrived at the church where I was collared and I first met Mineo.
お前からしたらここにいい思い出がないってのは分かってんだけどさ。
Or maybe like a promise ring.
お互い新しい生活が始まるわけだろ。験担ぎっつうか、お前と出会えたこの場所に。
It's true that we can't let our past continue to control us. I looked around the church with a different outlook.
にしても、ここでお前を助けた時の柳先輩、かっこよかったよな。いかにも救世主って感じで。あの時、お前もちょっとポーっとしてたし。
Hey, how's it going, Weaver Wolf? Huh? That's not how it was. I wasn't like that.
本当か？ま、あの状況じゃときめくのも仕方ないんだけどさ。なんか言えよ。盛大に滑
So
ったみた
far,
いだ
so
ろ。
good. What all do you have planned today? They all do, yes, even Sasazuka. Granted, Okazaki and Shiraishi also deserve a well-trained therapist, but I digress. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I'm sorry, but you're totally right.
Huh?
Oh, nice! How are classes going? You're the one for me, Mineo. I won't have eyes for anyone else. Until I start the next route. We'll see what happens. I like that about you too. Are they difficult classes, Weaver Wolf? Which classes are you taking? But please don't shout it out loud. It's embarrassing.
我慢できないから無理。
Mineo,
呆れるなって。これでも俺、
not really
お前
difficult,
との
though
ことはちゃん
good.
と考えてんだぞ。警察に復帰したら
I'm
頑張っ
glad
て
to hear that. Are you enjoying them?
落ち着いたら、お前の両親のとこにも挨拶に行かなきゃな。
Huh? That means... Right? Until I immediately jump into Sasazuka's route next. Exactly! Exactly! How many more classes do you have, Weaver Wolf? My first reaction was that he was implying marriage, but I realized that Mineo's always taking leaps like this. When he said meet, he probably didn't have any deeper meaning than that. While that thought was on my mind, Mineo looked around the church pensively, and then decides to speak.
ま、近い将来の下見も兼ねて、ここに連れてきたわけなんだけどさ。
Is this another case of Tim the Terrible Typist, where he's saying, trying to say, I didn't bring you here just to check out the place? Huh? I frantically turned to Mineo, but he's not nervous like he usually was.
何慌ててんだ？お前は俺が幸せにするっつったろ。
I realized the words he said, or I recalled the words he said when he gave me the Christmas present. In the next instant, Mineo grabbed me by the shoulders and pulled me towards him. Tim the Terrible Typist is very overworked. Yes, he is. Right? I can only assume that's the case. We were gazing into each other's eyes, up close, and I didn't know what to say.
本番はまだ先だけど、予行練習ってことで。
Promise ring! His voice cracked and I felt his hand on my shoulder start to shake. I could tell that Mineo was really nervous. The real thing will definitely feel even more nerve-wracking.
まあな。 ドレス姿のお前を見たら泣いちまうかもしんね
Exactly, hence his egregious typos. So, to explain Starlina, Tim the Terrible Typist is Soul's and Mai's name for whenever there's a typo in the game. So, for example, earlier it said, had Mineo say, I did just bring you here. And there's all kinds of different typos throughout the game, so whenever there's a typo, we're like, oh, Tim the Terrible Typist again. That's the father's
仕
role.
方ねえだろ隣にいてくれるだけでこんなに幸せなんだ
He somewhat got his act together for the fan disc, but he has his moments. I love it. I mean, it wouldn't be a game. It wouldn't be this game without Tim the Terrible Typist. Then I better make sure that I'm prepared to wipe away those tears.
ああで当然キスもすることになるよな
Yes.
生まれてこの方したことねえけどその時は絶対失敗できない
Oh, I don't know that I've ever played Okami then. I might need to add it to my list because I love hilarious typos.
だからその今してもいいか
Yes. We were close enough to hear each other's heartbeats. I was worried that I'd get as nervous as he was. Those thoughts filled my mind.
気の利いたことは言えねえけどこの気持ちだけは誰にも負けないいつかお前が好きだ
Gently, as if we were trying to touch something fragile without breaking it, our lips touched. I can feel Mineo's emotions. She's wearing the hairpin he gave her! His hands when he declared his love. His eyes that were focused on me. Emotions rode on them to tell me his feelings. And now, from our connected lips, I sensed his complete and sincere love. I knew that I had also loved Mineo just as much as he loved me. Or I knew that I also loved Mineo just as much as he loved me. He needed me. He gave me the strength to defeat fear. He embraced my everything, even my weaknesses. He was my love. My happiness was right here. So I wanted to protect this happiness. I swore that to myself in my heart. Huh? What? What? They can't just end it like that? Are they okay? Are they okay? Okay, they're good. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Okay. Because I was really, really worried that they just had it, like, oh my gosh. That ending! That ending! Alright, so now to start the next route, do I start anew? Oh, it just symbolizes I completed the route. Oh, gotcha. They could have just put the end screen, like the end of insert, you know, whatever route here, you know? Okay, so start. And then start the common? Rather than going with the prologue? Or do I go with prologue? They could, but it's Collar X Malice, so of course they wanted to end with the bang. That is true. Alrighty, Chapter 0, Common. Okay. I wondered how much time had passed. Despite my entreaties, the collar was silent. My body was still paralyzed, and worse, I felt it getting harder and harder to breathe. They said it wasn't a lethal dose, but I don't know if that's true. At this rate, if nobody finds me soon... As that thought suddenly crossed my mind, my vision grew dark. I'm scared. Somebody help.
お前。おい、しっかりしろ。
Somebody found me. Perhaps I would be saved. While clinging to that shred of hope, I looked at the man in front of me. Who are you?
無理に喋るな。俺はお前を探していたんだ。
Me?
お前の状況は把握してる。心細かっただろうが、もう大丈夫だ。大丈夫だ。絶対に助ける。
Yeah, that makes sense. The choices that push you into a route should all be in the common route. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense that the prologue would just introduce the setting and the X-Day cases. Because the first one that I see on the photo that you sent me to get to Sasazuka's route is don't report it, which should be after all of this. Once I heard those words, my crippling terror began to subside a bit. However, some doubt stubbornly remained. They were looking for me, and they know what's happened to me. How did they know? How did they know I was here? Yeah, that's what I thought. So I was like, you know, let's make sure that my line of thing. Yeah, when we run into Mochida after this. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. After having that realization, my would-be savior suddenly seemed more frightening.
俺が怖いか?
That's a good point. We can definitely do that. Because this is all available on, this is all available on YouTube. You'll just encounter the new dialogue that follows each of the different choices. Yeah, that makes sense. Or that you'll just encounter the new dialogue that follows each different choice. Yeah. Still haven't learned anything.
No.
And then... Yeah, off stream, I figured out that reporting it doesn't end well for you. When I first played it. It's nothing.
俺が主任なのがそんなに意外？
Not at all. I was just surprised. Oh, oops.
そう。俺みたいにうさんくさいやつ、全然主任に見えないってことだね。
I never said that.
そこまでってことは少なからず
Oh
思って
no, no
はいたんだ。
worries. No worries at all,
あー
Soul.
そうか、そうなんだ。君って見た目で人を判断するんだね。ああ、俺もそうだし、悪いことじゃないよ。
I tried to lie to him, but all I did was dig my own grave. Exactly, you're also not being paid, so therefore, Tim the Terrible Typist. I wish he wasn't so critical of other people, too. When I heard he was a director, I expected more from him, so I was a little disappointed. Before long, we reached an intersection, a good distance from the police station. When we paused to wait for the next signal, I heard a heavy sigh next to me. Exactly. Don't lie to a profiler, Ichiga. Exactly. Study? Something felt off about him the moment we met, and I finally realized that I was like an interesting lab subject to him. So now we can go and make our way through all of that. Because that's all old info. This is true, it's Shiraishi. He can see right through you. Exactly. Exactly. Like, that's his whole shtick, is that he's able to see right through people and see through lies and read body language and everything. Now we're fast forwarding through the common route so that we can start Sasazuka's route. Ads starting in a minute. Don't worry, I will go into BRB so you do not miss a thing. I promise. There we go. That way I can see chat. Let's see here. All right.
お前、なんで迷った？
We'll be back. Alright, you guys, thank you for sitting through those ads with me. Sorry it took a little bit longer for me to get back. Decided to take a quick bio break while we were on ads. Let's see, it was that one. And then we're fast forwarding through a bunch of stuff. Hope everybody's having a good start to their Friday. What do we got? Fast forwarding all through the stuff. Going crazy. All of the different dialogue to get through to the next. Okay. I understand. Hey, how's it going, Amethyst? Hope you're doing well. I understand. It's natural that you would suspect me. Whether he understood me or not, the mistrust I saw reflected in his eyes was hurtful. He used to be a police officer. His devotion to justice is obviously going to make it hard for him to trust someone like me. How's your Friday starting off? Love the comments you've made in our Esther study. I'm doing well. I got a decent night's sleep. The caffeine is starting to hit, so that's good. And it's going to be laundry day and then helping out in the nursery at church tonight. Hey, how's it going, Dreamer? I didn't really know how to answer that, so I just kept quiet. However, he just looked at me disdainfully.
たださ、柳先輩は悪いことできる人じゃねえから。タケルも口は悪いけど頭はいいし、人をバカにすっけど話せばわかることも。
Aww, is Zelda getting just a trim, or is she getting, you know, like what kind of a groom is she gonna get today? I'm not really following him.
白石さんはまあ警戒した方がいいな。
Oh, believe me, Enomoto, I'm already cautious of Shiraishi. Yes, I've gathered that much.
ひでえやつだなお前。
I didn't expect you to just agree with me. We shared a small smile. Making Enomoto sad after just finishing the good ending always makes me feel a little bad, right? Like, he is so sweet. He is such a sweetheart. She's getting the full groom, same as always. She's gonna be all fresh and clean. I love it. I need pictures of the Zelda after she's all done. How are the other fur children, the little kitties? Are they doing good? It felt like the first genuine smile I'd seen from him, so I relaxed a little.
じゃ、とりあえず事務所行くか。なんだかんだ遅くなっちまったな。
Of course we can't trust each other, but I can feel that Enomoto wants to be able to believe in other people. Aside from me, that is. It seemed like he was trying to make a point, but I didn't know what that point was. Still, when I watched him from behind, I didn't feel like he was capable of evil. So now, fast forwarding through all of this. You have some paperwork for the completed on the job training on Tuesday and did some fall cleaning of your email. I love it! That's always good. So what kind of paperwork is it that you have to do now that you've completed on the job training? Merlin was sick yesterday, had to take him to be seen. He's feeling a little better today after medicine. Mabel's doing well and been really cuddly lately. I love it. I'm glad that Merlin's feeling a little better. I hope that the medicine continues to work and that he's back to 100% soon. I'm glad that Mabel is really cuddly, because I know that's not typical of cats. How are you enjoying the Esther study? We're almost through the common route stuff. We gotta review all the incidents. That's true. Some cats are super cuddly. Oh, do I need to... Do I get... You said I get new information. I probably shouldn't, I shouldn't go too fast through all that, should I? You assume it's going to be a questionnaire and get some extra I's and T's out of the way. That makes sense. Congratulations on your 3-stream streak. Congratulations. Oh, I thought that with each new route you learned more. So maybe I'm wrong. That might be later on. That is true. New info would automatically make it stop. You're loving it so far? It was a little rough with the migraine, but you were struggling to retain what you were reading. You loved the Apple read to you. For sure. That's kind of what I do. I let it read to me as... Oh, that's later on as I investigate. Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, because it allows me that as I go to work, like drive to work, or as I'm getting work done, I can just listen to it. And then there we go. Alright, so now we need to go to forensics. Oh. We need to go to forensics. Go right past it. Any new info in the common route will follow the new choices you make. Ah. I took a deep breath in front of the door to forensics and knocked. Excuse me. I opened the door and spoke to a man sitting just beyond it. Okay, so this is not any new info. This is getting introduced to Sakuragawa, who loves meat. Even so, I gave it to her straight.
いいか、とにかくお前の選択肢に俺たちから逃げるってのは存在しねえ。黙って捜査に加わるか、俺らに見張られ利用されるかの二択だ。
Sasazuka is right. I don't really have a lot of choices here. And since you're not investigating the cases in the common route, it won't be a lot, mostly just little character interactions. That makes sense. Sakuragawa sighed heavily as she looked at me, staring blankly at her.
まあ、笹塚との約束もあるし、分かっててやるってんならいいけどね。
Yes, thank you very much. Let's work together from now on.
あんまりよろしくはしたくないけど、きっちり棒はきまえてくれるなら。
Yeah, Sakuragawa's really friendly. I love Sakuragawa.
それで、X-ray 事件のことでしょ？具体的に何が知りたいわけ？
No. Today I just came here to introduce myself. Personally, I'm mainly thinking of focusing on the August case.
8月。ああ、ネットいじめのあれか。何か理由でもあんの？
That case was the reason that the Swords and Firearms Control Law was repealed. When I decided which incident to pursue, August was the most important to me. Everyone got guns and Shinjuku was quarantined. As SRCPO, I listened to the public's complaints. I'm certain that Shinjuku needs to be fixed. Of course, I don't think that solving the August case automatically solves all of Shinjuku's problems, but I want to help Shinjuku return to normal. Solving the August case would be a big first step towards that goal.
そりゃまた大層なことを考えてるんだね。あんたが言った通り、そんなの。
Tim the Terrible Typist!
どうにかなる問題じゃない。
Because there should be an if right there between even and you.
それこそ正解まで動かさなきゃ不可能なんじゃないの？
That's true, but we know for a fact that the situation won't improve unless we solve the X-Day incident. Sakuragawa beamed after hearing my words.
なるほどね。
Did I say something odd?
いや、笹塚も似たようなこと言ってたなと思ってさ。
Sasazuka thinks that way too? That was a bit unexpected. My impression of Sasazuka was that he was just a difficult person to deal with. Difficult and scary. I mean, look at those eyes. The way they drew his eyes so wide. Like he's staring into her soul. He's probably not a bad person, but it feels like he's always got a dagger at the ready, waiting to cut. In any case, as of this moment, I didn't think I could possibly get along with him. I thought about everything I'd learned up to now, and I looked at the woman before me. If I recall correctly, you're close with Sasazuka, right? Exactly, the eyes that warn you to keep quiet. Like, that's a be quiet or else look. Oh, he did? What? Is that so?
確か2年くらい前まではアメリカにいたらしいよ。
Comparatively speaking, Color X Malice has a pretty short common route. It's mostly when the route splits off that you get the new information. Yeah, that makes sense. So now we should be pretty solidly in Sasazuka's route. And so now we'll start getting new information. He was living in America up until 2 years ago. Wow. Yay! Once she told me, I kind of understood. He's aggressive and headstrong and constantly interrupts and cuts people off. A bit of a rabble rouser.
あいつにとっちゃ相性最悪な環境でしょ。相当ストレス溜めてたみたいだよ。
I can only imagine what it will be like when I walk by your side. Jukebox brain. We need to have like a jukebox brain counter. I'm gonna work on adding that. I'm adding that to my list of things. I should be able to follow the same thing for the, I like those counter. So I need to put that in my, not my reminders. There we go. And then add jukebox brain counter. We're what, currently at 3 for this? So that way I can kind of get it all set up to where we've had 3 instances so far. So add those. There we go. Perfect. I can get right on that after stream. I couldn't envision someone like Sasazuka doing well in such a seniority-based institution.
私があいつと知り合ったのは、あいつが警視庁から X デー事件の捜査本部に移ってきてすぐの頃だったんだけど、たまたま廊下の隅で放送禁止用語ばりのスラングで呪詛吐くように独り言言っててさ。
Huh. I could imagine him using a lot of foul language that he had picked up in America. It was scary how well the image fit.
あんまり異様な光景だったから、つい声かけちゃったんだよね。
What did you say?
まあ端的に言えば、そんなとこで腐ってるくらいならさっさと帰ってクソして寝ろ的な。
So, kind of funny story, kind of interesting-ish. I watched the Tubi movie President Down. What's that one? I mean, I've got a basic gist just from the title of what happens, but I'm curious, like, what's a basic summary of the movie? In Japanese or in English?
海外ドラマ好きなもんだから、ちょっとばかり英語には自信あるんだ。
Sasazuka's pretty bad, but apparently so was Sakuragawa. I couldn't imagine using words like that with someone I'd just met, let alone to Sasazuka. Sakuragawa probably saw my face twitch from her response and scoffed at me.
あんたみたいなタイプは、あいつとは馬が合わないんじゃないの？確か笹塚が調べてんのも8月の事件でしょ？あいつと組むわけ？
Probably.
そりゃどっちにとってもご愁傷様って感じだね。
Right? Her response worries me greatly. I cast a plaintive look at her. Do you have any advice to help me get along with Sasazuka better?
さあ、私は特に意識したことないし、コツなんて言われてもわかんないけど。でも、あいつが嫌いなものなら知ってるよ。
While the female president of the US brokered peace with Russia, someone hacked into her pacemaker and held her for ransom unless she hands Russia back to the old regime. The head hacker takes it upon himself to stop the hackers while the pacemaker gets changed. Ooh. Interesting. Sounds intense. What's it rated? What is it?
バカ。
Oh, her head hacker. Ah, gotcha. TV 14. Okay, so kind of intense, but maybe not like... Because I think TV 14 would be like probably PG 13, roughly. Kind of that borderline PG 13R. Okay. What?
特に自分で考える前に何でも人に聞くタイプは好かれないと思うよ。
Especially by today's film standards, shall we say? That pretty much described me to a T. As she watched me go pale, Sakuragawa flashed a playful smile and began to speak.
あいつのはちょっと極端だけどね。少し頭が回るからって相手に同じもの求めすぎっていうかさ。でも根は悪いやつじゃないよ。良くも悪くも正直なだけと思えば可愛いもんじゃない？
Cute? Sasazuka? He might look cute, but he's not cute on the inside. He isn't cute at all. Not that I would ever really refer to someone older than me as cute anyway, but...
そんな顔すんなって。一緒にいればそのうち慣れるよ。
Milady inaudibly protests too much. I love that. Sakuragawa cracks me up.
ドーナツでも差し入れてやれば？あいつ甘いもの好きだからさ。
Donuts. The fact that he has such a cute weakness is kind of unfair, right? As that thought formed inside my mind, the cell phone inside my chest pocket vibrated. I took out my phone and answered the call as Sakuragawa stood by. Yes, this is Hoshino. The localization team had fun with that one, right? I love it. I love it so much. That is like the perfect answer there. I love it.
住宅街での犯行らしくてな。現場が混乱してる。独房にも応援要請が入った。すぐに向かうぞ。
Understood. I hung up and saw Sakuragawa's back disappear as she dashed off toward the exit. She had probably been summoned as well. I need to get moving too. After returning the cell phone to my pocket, I immediately started to run. Chapter 1. Here we go. Help.
おい、何があったんだ。まさか X デー事件じゃないだろうな。
I'm sorry. I can't say anything in detail.
ちょっといい加減にしてよ。何も知らないって言ってるでしょ。
失礼しました。これも職務なもので、ご協力感謝いたします。
After arriving on scene, we were quickly briefed and then overwhelmed by speaking to and caring for residents. Everyone's really irritated here. They're all probably extremely worried. The science was sort of okay in some instances. Sometimes they bend the rules because it's a movie. The science for the Wi-Fi enabled pacemaker was a little loose. I mean, yeah, that's totally fair. That is totally fair. Because I personally don't know of any Wi-Fi enabled pacemakers. I kind of feel like that's definitely a stretch. I feel like because then anytime that they moved somewhere, unless they had Wi-Fi, like a Wi-Fi router in their pocket, you know, like a pocket-sized Wi-Fi thing, or like a Wi-Fi card in said pacemaker that could connect anywhere in the world. Anytime they're not connected to Wi-Fi, does that make it where the pacemaker doesn't work? Kind of seems, you know, a little weird. But I do know that the rating system has definitely gotten, like... Right? Yeah, heaven help you if that's the case, right? Right? Also, if you block Wi-Fi, you can't access the device. Case closed. They actually stopped one of the bad guys for how they kept accessing even in places where they shouldn't. Huh. Well, it makes for a good story at least. That's good. Sometimes it's worth getting those kind of suspend your disbelief to get so fully invested in the story, you know? But then it gets stuff like that and it's kind of hard to suspend disbelief for things like that, because then your brain starts going, well, if that's the case, then what about this, and this, and this, and this, and this? Anything could happen in Shinjuku these days. Obviously, everyone here would have immediately assumed that this was tied to a next day incident. Actually, I already know that this is almost certainly a next day incident, but this time the video hadn't been released to the public. It had been sent to a Shinjuku Police Department shared email address. We tracked you, or let's see, I'm guessing this is probably the Russian accent, so forgive me for my terrible Russian. We tracked you via radio to make sure you didn't replace the device. Ugh! There we go. Acting with Donna! Yeah, sometimes suspension of disbelief only goes so far. Exactly. Since it wasn't entirely confirmed that it was related, the higher-ups decided that we should implement a gag order on the situation. Gag order, an official ban on disseminating certain information.
すいません。ここ通してほしいんですけど、家がすぐそこなんで。
Oh, yes, I'll get you to your house right away. Though there's a lot to be concerned about, for now I just need to focus on my duties. I reminded myself of my job here as I guided the young lady to her house. Mochida let out an enormous sigh with a completely ragged look on his face. The mob started to thin out, so we decided to return to the station before everyone else. Great work.
お互い様だろう。苦情対応ならまだ慣れてるとはいえ、聞き込みってのは本当に神経を使うな。
Yes. Not everyone was willing to cooperate. In fact, due to the X-Day incident, people were more suspicious towards the police than ever. It was one thing over the phone, but being confronted face to face by someone who viewed you as the enemy was really difficult. I'll compile the reports when we get back, although there wasn't much useful info.
何が有益かは上が判断することだ。お前がへこむことはないぞ。
He shot a wry smile as he patted my shoulder. I thought that I could really learn a thing or two from Mochida's big-hearted demeanor.
しかし、今回は随分惜しかったらしいな。
What?
さっき小耳に挟んだんだが、予告動画が送られてきてから異例の速さで現場を特定できたらしい。まあ実際は間に合わなかったわけだが、あと10分20分早ければ食い止められた可能性が高かったそうだ。
Is that so? That must have been frustrating, for sure. The people at Investigations HQ probably wish that they'd somehow been able to get there a bit quicker. I want to solve this as soon as possible, and for that, I've got to try harder. Once I got back to the station, I began compiling the information we gathered. There were many pieces of vague or unrelated information, but the victim just moved in during the summer, was not seen outside too often. Sometimes when I greeted the victim, they seemed extremely afraid. Their lights were on at all hours. Were they a night owl or something? These 3 reports would probably be deemed as important information. I've gathered the documents, Mochida.
おお、早かったな。それじゃ本部に持っていくか。すまん。お前代わりに行ってきてくれ。
What?
はい。特殊地域防犯対策室、持田でございます。
He'd already answered the phone. I've never been to Investigations HQ, but it wasn't really the time to protest. Besides, I was curious to see it. There aren't many people here. I wonder if they're all out investigating. I nervously stepped into Investigations HQ, wondering who I should give the documents to. As my gaze wandered to and fro...
ここに何かご用ですか?
My shoulders spasmed in startled response to the voice from behind, and I spun around. I saw a man that looked like the physical embodiment of the word elite. Oh, thank you. He's definitely someone in a high position. I hurriedly straightened myself up. My apologies, sir. Special Regions Crime Prevention Officer Ichika Hoshino. Here's the debrief report. For some reason, he intently stared at me with a bit of a surprised look on his face. Yes?
いえ、何でも。私は警視庁捜査一課の峯岸誠二警視です。本事件の管理官を担当しています。
Commissioner? So he wasn't just a higher up, he's the one that oversees all of Investigation Headquarters. I'd heard his name before.
報告書は私が受け取りましょう。今は担当の者が席を外していますので。
Ah, I see. Then... As I nervously handed the documents to him, he immediately began looking through them. I knew that the documents are fine, but it was still stressful to have them examined like that.
この報告書はあなたが?
Yes. Is there something wrong with it?
いえ、大変わかりやすくまとまっています。何も問題はありませんよ。ただ、ざっと見る限り、やはり他の捜査員の聞き込み情報と変わらない範囲のものばかりですね。
I can't help but feel disappointed at seeing more of the same. I apologize for not being of any help. As I bowed, Minagishi shook his head.
いいえ、一つ一つは些細なことでも積み上がればより確証に近いものとなります。十分助かりましたよ。ありがとうございました。ご協力くださった他の方々にもお礼を伝えておいてください。
Minagishi bowed his head and complimented me. I felt so unworthy of the praise that I also quickly bowed my head in response. It probably looked hilarious to any onlookers. Minagishi then relaxed and spoke.
特防は区民の声を直接受け止める部署です。直接の捜査には関わらなくても、おそらく私たちとは違った見方ができるでしょう。もし今後も何か気になることがあれば、どんな小さなことでも構いません。私に伝えてください。
Yes, sir. I didn't think I'd ever hear the commissioner speak to a low-ranking officer like me this way. The report wasn't a complete waste. The image of Mochida's haggard face telling me that we were doing our duty came to mind. I should tell him as soon as I got back. Just when I thought that...
それではこれで。ああ、柳くんたちにもよろしく伝えておいてください。
Oh? So he knows. Minagishi took a parting glance at me, as I froze in response to hearing him drop an unexpected name and then walked away. Why? I stared at his back for a few seconds and then collected myself and left Investigations HQ. Oh, he totally knows. And it's surprising. I wonder well, Shiraishi could have told him. It's interesting that he knows. What does this mean? My heart began racing. Why did Minagishi know that I knew Yanagi and the others? Come to think of it, he looked a bit surprised when I told him my name. And just how much does he know? I unconsciously touched my neck. A cold feeling raced down my spine. I whipped out my cell phone and looked for Yanagi's name in my address book. I should definitely get his take. I was just about to press the call button, but before I could... You'll have to play through and find out exactly. From Sasazuka, stop by the agency on the way home. Talk about impeccable timing. Seeing Sasazuka's text cooled me down just a little bit. Oh, have coffee and breakfast arrived yet, Soul? Not that one. There we go. Oh, good! I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad the coffee is finally kicking in. What did you get for breakfast? Did you get your usual, avocado toast? Or the, There was one other thing that you liked. I'm totally blanking on what it was right now. I probably didn't know as much... Or I probably didn't know how... I can read. I didn't know how much he knew, but it was probably in regards to today's incident. I understand. I'll head over once I finish work. I replied immediately and took a deep breath. There was still work to be done here. Both cool! I hope they're delicious! Besides, discussing this over text messages wasn't going to be too useful. I need to calm down. I took a few minutes and several deep breaths and then returned to my own division. The phone rang off the hook the entire day. The omelet bites! That's right. I was like, I remember it had eggs in it! Toast and omelet bites. That's a breakfast of champions right there. Although the case had not been publicly linked to X-Day, the incident was causing a panic. Yes, we apologize. We are doing the best we can, so please give us a bit more time. Alright, goodbye. I hung up the phone that almost seemed like a claims call and took a deep breath.
星野、お前はそろそろ上がっていいぞ。
But...
いいから。どうせこの感じじゃ、明日もこんな調子になるだろう。休めるうちに休んどけ。
Mochida mentioned resting, but he had night duty. Though today I have to go to the agency from here anyway. Although I felt bad about it, I nodded to Mochida and bowed. Delicious as usual, Duncan achieved the incredible for fast food breakfast, an egg texture that I actually like. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Isn't it amazing when they can, even though they're more, I guess you could consider them fast food, because, you know, it's not like it takes them that long to make things, and they have, you know, everything kind of ready there. But the quality is so good. In that case, I'll take you up on your offer.
ああ、お疲れさん。
In the midst of the never-ending phone calls, I quickly cleaned up around my desk and started getting ready to go home. Just as I exited the front door, I met with Shiraishi, who was just returning.
あれ、今上がり?
Yes, I was just about to head toward the agency to meet the others.
へえ、俺は徹夜仕事の前に腹ごしらえしてきたところだよ。
Ah, thank you for your hard work. Because it was right after a next day incident, field support must have been going all out. I felt some sympathy towards Shiraishi and bowed as I made to leave when... He put his face up to mine and asked softly. I managed to suppress my urge to immediately step backwards and answered, August.
それはまたちょうどよかった。
What?
みんなに伝えておいて、コインが一致したってね。
Then that means... everyone today was just dropping things like this on me and strolling off before I could respond. I wondered what he thought was perfect. But now it's certain that today's incident is a next day incident. I was slightly relieved that I at least had a little bit of useful information that I could share with the others. Shiraishi, don't do this to me. It's not your route yet. Let's see. He's next on the list, I think. Nope, next is Okazaki. Then Shiraishi. Oh yeah, I had a sudden realization.
もし機嫌を取りたいなら、ドーナツでも差し入れてやれば?
Yeah, fourth, second to last, right before Yanagi. It's not like I don't really want to butter him up, but it's just a tiny gift. If I brought a few of them, then I was sure the others would enjoy them too. Yeah, I'll go buy some. And then Sasazuka is gonna eat them all, right? He's gonna eat them all. There were many different types of donuts in the display case. What should I get?
何をお求めでしょうか? ただいま期間限定の抹茶ドーナツがおすすめとなっております。いかがでしょうか?
For some reason, the phrase limited edition instantly piqued my curiosity, right? Soon as I hear limited edition, I hear this is not going to be around forever, so you should enjoy it while it lasts if it sounds good. Matcha wouldn't be too sweet, so maybe the others would enjoy them too. But, after waffling for a bit, I decided to... Ooh. Which donut do I wish to woo Sasazuka with? I'm tempted to get the limited edition, which probably means getting a variety. Unless the his that this is referring to, now this is a clarification question. Is the his referring to the donut shop person? Or are we trying to say get something sweet because Sasazuka likes sweet? Okay, his equals shop person for the limited item. Okay. So I get the impression that if I were to... follow the shop owner's recommendation, I get the feeling either way I can end up with the limited item because I'll be getting a variety, but the variety would also make sure that I have something sweet for Sasazuka. I'm thinking I'm gonna go with a variety and just try and make sure that Donna really does wish to purchase limited time donuts, but Donna also wishes to make sure that that there's something sweet in there for Sasazuka. So, because I don't know how he feels about, hold on one second, I'm hearing something outside. Hold on. Okay, we're good. I thought I heard something going on. It may have just been Dad heading downstairs for his early lunch. Because with getting a variety, there's nothing that says that part of that variety can't be the limited time donuts. But variety also means there will be something sweet in there. Because Sakuragawa specifically said that Sasazuka likes sweet things. Not necessarily, now granted there are varying degrees of sweetness, but we don't want to come off too strong in the beginning. And there's nothing that says that getting a variety doesn't guarantee us the limited time donut that Donna desperately wants. My gut instinct says buy a variety. So I think I'm gonna go with buy a variety. I'd like 2 matcha donuts, 3 of those ones over here, and 3 of those ones over there. In addition to the matcha ones, I picked out 2 other types that looked like safe choices and completed my order.
かしこまりました。少々お待ちくださいませ。ありがとうございました。
This should be good. I hoped that the tense atmosphere at the agency would ease up a bit. With that thought, I headed towards the agency. I reflexively shuddered in a jerking motion and Yanagi sighed.
気にするな。言うほど待っちゃいない。
Thank you very much. Where's Enomoto? Its English spelling is matcha, Tim, right? I wondered, I'm like, something doesn't add up right in the spelling of this. So either I am completely misremembering how to spell matcha, or another case of Tim the terrible typist.
それよりそれ、さっさとよこせ。
Sasazuka snapped at me, looking at my hand. He was obviously referring to the donuts. He must really like them. Nope, just Tim again. I love it. As I thanked Sakuragawa internally, I handed the paper bag over to him. As Sasazuka cracked the faintest of smiles, he opened the bag. Trust up! Yes! Not a bad selection. Donna chose wisely. With that, he took the most simple looking donut and immediately stuffed his face. Yay! Donna chose wisely! His typical demeanor faded and it was replaced with the childlike, happy-looking Sasazuka. I'm starting to see what Sakuragawa meant by cute. Huh? Sasazuka, who had been cramming donuts into his face, looked in the bag and knit his brows. Then he reached inside and took 2 donuts out of the paper bag. He shoved the donuts in the paper bag off to Yanagi.
抹茶はもう買ってくんな。あと今後のためにも言っとくけど、和菓子系は全般 NG だ。
And that is why we went for the variety. She carefully considered the goblin's delicate palate. Exactly. Exactly. Because I'm like, if you like sweet things, and they made a point in there to say... They made a point in there to say that the matcha ones wouldn't be too sweet. So therefore, this allows everybody to enjoy the donuts, while still making sure we have one to build trust with him. Right? Just take the donut. Although in his defense, as a picky eater, if there's something that I know I'm not going to like in there, I wouldn't be as blunt about it as Sasazuka is. But I would say, like, oh hey, thank you for making sure that you got the sweet donuts that I liked. Thank you for the chocolate donut and the maple donut. I enjoyed those. I'm sure somebody will enjoy the matcha ones. If I said anything at all. He really doesn't. Yanagi just hit the nail right on the head. No, that's fine, but...
笹塚は海外生活が長かったんだ。和食は普通に食えるんだが、甘いものになると抵抗があるらしい。前に、Enomotoが知らずに抹茶味の菓子を食わせようとして、大喧嘩になったこともあったな。
As Yanagi looked off into the distance, Sasazuka piped up without a hint of remorse.
スイーツに苦さはいらねえ。あと、甘い豆とか俺の常識外だから。
Some of us more cultured people will graciously accept matcha donuts. Exactly. Exactly. Like, I'd be willing to give it a try. You don't eat red bean paste either?
豆はチリビーンズで十分だ。
Satisfied that he'd spoken his piece, Sasazuka reached for his second donut. I think I remember seeing something on TV about how non-Asians are extremely repulsed by the concept of sweet beans. Right? Weak, Sasazuka! Maybe Sasazuka picked that up overseas. I thought that it would be a good idea to remember this information about him. Yes, yes. While Sasazuka was occupied with the donuts, Yanagi brewed coffee for me. Thank you very much.
いや、今夜は冷えるからな。外から来たばかりだと寒いだろう。
He's such a considerate person, and that is why he is best boy, right up there with Enomoto. The smell of roasted coffee comforted me. I was truly glad that Yanagi was in the office right now.
おい、のんきな顔してんじゃねえぞ。これから事件の話だ。
Ah, yes, we're here to discuss the incident. What do you know about it?
動画なら見てる。被害者の情報はテレビで知って、あとはまあ、少しばかり調べた程度。
What? The video for this incident wasn't released to the public?
新宿署の共有アドレス宛てのメールは全部こっちに転送されるようになってんだよ。
That makes sense. I see. Even if they were former police officers, what they were doing is clearly a crime, but Yanagi laughed as I processed the dilemma.
俺たちにとっても必要なことだ。そこのところは見逃してくれ。
I understand.
簡単に侵入される程度の対策しかしてねえ警察が悪いんだよ。首輪のことにせよ、あっちには俺と同等以上のテク持ちがいるのは間違いねえんだからな。
確かにな。だが、その件は俺たちが今言っても仕方ない。
I'm gonna go ahead and snooze that ad break.
わかってる。おい、バカ猫。お前なんか情報持ってきたか？
As he glared, I quickly opened my mouth. Shiraishi asked me to send you a message. He said that the coin matched. Then Yanagi and Sasazuka turned to each other and nodded.
確定だな。
ああ。
As I grew more confused by them speaking with implications and innuendos I didn't grasp yet, Sasazuka looked toward me.
お前、今回の動画見た？
No, I was ordered directly to the crime scene, so I only knew the basic details.
なら今見とけ。これだ。
Sasazuka opened the video file on the PC and gestured at the display. A bit nervous, I directed my gaze towards the video as it was played. This seems like a good spot to pause for the day. So let's go ahead. We'll make save file number 10. There we go. Let's go to just chatting. Let's take a look and see who all is on the line. We will pick up tomorrow with watching the video that they left. And then go from there. So, I hope you guys had as much fun as I did finishing up Enomoto's route, getting that true ending. It was beautiful, and I loved it, and it made me so happy. Ah! Thunderbird, Nix, how you doing? How you doing? It's so good to see you. Love that emote. So we are going to go ahead and raid out because I'm getting hungry. I need to refill my water anyway. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and raid just a little spark. Lurking and working, I love it. Let's see, if you are subbed, here is your raid message. Right after all the pain I endured to get there, I'm glad I went back and got it. Yes. If you are not subbed, that is your raid message. We're gonna raid just a little spark. And she is playing Arc Raiders, which is, I think, a new game that released recently. So it'll be fun to kind of see how that goes. You're so welcome. It's so good to see you. I will see you guys tomorrow. And always remember that God loves you, and so do I.